Man, lots of words. Okay, so it says Matthew is visiting Gregory at his home on North Street. We got a cool little image right here. I see North Street right there. Okay, shortly after Matthew leaves, Gregory realizes that Matthew left his wallet. Oh, okay, and begins to chase him. When Gregory is 3 miles, okay, I'm not sure what we're going to do, from the 90-degree intersection along North Street, traveling at 45 miles per hour. Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to say G equals 3, because that's like Gregory's distance. And then I'm going to say that Gregory is moving at 45 miles per hour towards the intersection. So he's going this way. So is the 3 miles increasing or decreasing? The 3 miles is decreasing. Okay, so the distance is actually decreasing. So you're going to want to say that the speed is negative 45 miles per hour. Now, that's kind of weird because you would think that negative 45 means you're moving backwards, but no. Negative 45 just means that the distance, the g, is decreasing at a rate of 45 miles per hour. Okay, so that's an important label there towards the intersection. Okay, Matthew is 4 miles along the east street, traveling away from the intersection at 30 miles per hour. So Matthew, we're going to say m is the distance of Matthew, is going to be 4. So I'm going to put 4 right there, and then his the distance, which is 4, is Matthew walking away? He's traveling away from the intersection. So because he's increasing the distance, then this rate must be a positive rate. So then you have miles per hour. This is miles, and this is miles per hour. Okay, cool. So we got all our labels. Sweet. At that time, how fast is the distance between the two men changing? Now, the distance, this is kind of a weird problem because it doesn't specify how to find that distance. Are you going to find the distance by adding this and this, or are you going to find the distance diagonally, straight from each other? So you gotta, dude, Craig is fast, right? Um, you gotta assume, like, you gotta be really literal when you read this, okay? So um, the most right answer is going to be the diagonal distance. So that's what you're trying to figure out is what is the rate at which that distance is changing. So we're going to use the quadratic equation, not the quadratic, the Pythagorean theorem. So it's going to be g squared plus m squared equals, I'm going to say d squared because it does say, just says distance between the two men. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. We're looking for how fast is the distance between the two men changing. So we want d over dt. This is our mission. Our mission is to find that rate. Now, if you've done this a number of times, you might have realized, hey, I have to know what d equals in order to find out what dt is. And you're right, because if I were to take the derivative of this with respect to t, you would get 2g dg over dt, which we have both of those numbers, and then 2m, which is dm over dt, and then multiplied by dm over dt, and then you have 2d dd over dt. Okay, we have all these numbers except for the d and the dd over dt. So if I plug them in, it would look like this. We would have 2 times whatever g is, which is 3. dg is negative 45. And then we have plus 2m, which is Matt's distance. So that would be 4. And then dm over dt, which is 30. Then we have 2. Now we got to find the d. So how would we find the d? Well, we have 3 and 4. So it would be 12 plus 16 equals d squared. And so if I add those, it would be 828 d squared. So d would equal the square root of 28. And I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to simplify that yet. So we'll just have the square root of 28. And then we have to get the dd over dt alone. Okay. Now, it doesn't look like there's any. See, did I do those all right? 3. Oh, no, I didn't do it right. 3 squared is not 12. It's supposed to be 9. Oh, that makes it way prettier because this is just 25, which means this is just 5. Okay. Bust out the eraser here. Put the 5 right here. All right, that's a lot cleaner. Okay, so we got 10. What is 2 times 3 times negative 45? So it would be 5 times 45, which would not be healthily done in my head since I have COVID. Okay. So 2 times 3 is 6, not 5. Stupid. Okay, so 6 times 5 is 0. 6 times 4 is 24, 27. So I get 270, and that's negative. Hopefully you guys are watching my math because I'm not feeling confident about my mental capacity right now. We have 8 times 0, which is 0. 8 times 3, which is 24. So we have 240. And then we're going to divide this by 10. Then we'll find out what our rate is. Okay, cool. So we have 270 minus 240, which is going to be negative 30. Negative 30 divided by 10 is going to be negative 3. And that's what dd over dt is going to be, negative 3 miles per hour. So what does that negative mean? That negative means that the distance between the two is decreasing. So you would say he's getting closer at 3 miles per hour.